The film opens with a powerful criminal Lorenzo who works in a winery, and one of his guards tells him to go inside the place, and he discovers multiple men on the ground, unalived in a gruesome way. He tries to find his armed men, but suddenly he finds a man named Robert McCall who reveals he took them all down, so Lorenzo starts questioning him. What does he want? And Robert claims he wants Lorenzo since he took something that doesn't belong to him, and Lorenzo refuses to listen, so Robert sets a timer on his watch for 9 seconds. Then he attacks them, taking them all down without a scratch within seconds. Robert, however, is suddenly ambushed by Lorenzo's grandson, who shoots him in the back, so he points his gun at him, making him run away. Robert sits down on the ground, not knowing what to do. Despite the injury, Robert manages to escape the winery, boarding a ferry back to the mainland. Driving along the scenic coastline, McCall still bleeding from his wounds, he begins to lose consciousness. His vision blurs as he struggles to keep control of the car. Just as he's about to collapse, he's discovered by Gio Bonucci, a kind-hearted local carabinier. Gio brings Robert to Dr. Enzo Auricio, the town's trusted physician, who tends to his wounds and allows him to recover in his home. The next morning, as Robert heals, Enzo is there to take care of him. Being outside with Enzo, he lets Robert know he was in a coma for 3 days and he's starting to heal better. A little while after, he begins to explore the town, observing the locals going about their daily lives. He befriends Gio and Enzo, slowly becoming a familiar face in the community. Gio goes to Robert to speak with him, telling him about what happened to him and letting him know Enzo is a good doctor, being there for everyone in the town. He gave Robert his keys, so now he finally has access to his car. McCall contacts a young CIA analyst, Emma Collins. He tells her to look into something for him, and he provides her with intel regarding a massive drug operation disguised as a business. Collins investigates and discovers that the drugs being moved are phenethylline tablets, used for financing terrorist groups. Robert goes on to explore the town again. He soon notices the presence of the Camorra, a powerful crime syndicate. He hears someone being beat up, and he stops for a moment and sees someone named Marco, one of the members of the Camorra, and he notices Robert looking at them, so they decide to leave while he watches their every move. Marco and his crew are on motorcycles driving to their destinations, where he goes to meet up with his older brother Vincent, who leads the Camorra. While they are having a brotherly conversation, an elderly man is thrown out the window being hanged, but Vincent is unbothered, telling his brother he has plans for him and tells his guards to leave the elderly man up there for everyone to see. Later that day, Robert visits Enzo and to have dinner. Enzo lets him know that he was going to go get fish from the fish market, but Robert insisted he would get it and let Enzo rest. While being at the market, he tries to purchase the fish, but is told he doesn't have to pay since he is friends with Enzo. Robert leaves with the fish to bring back to him. All the information Emma Collins was given from Robert, although she doesn't know that was Robert on the call yet. She checks out the winery with her CIA team, and she discovers $11 million in cash was there, and only one DNA print that didn't match from the attack Robert did in the opening scene, and now the situation is confusing her. Now, knowing that her and her team is behind, they try to make a plan, with Vincent not looking too pleasant. He tells his brother there is a problem and wants Marco to put more pressure onto the town, and he agrees to do that. The Camorra extorts businesses, burns down a fish market owned by a man named Angelo, and threatens the locals. Robert also sees what happened to the market. Angelo claims that's all he has to survive. While the fire is happening, the Camorra is watching it from the distance, showing no sympathy. Robert sees them and gives them a stare. The next day, while he's out to have some tea, Emma Collins spots him and tries to take a picture of him, but Robert already knows what she was trying to do and smiled for the camera instead. She goes to sit with him, wanting to know who he is and why he was on the farm where she found multiple dead bodies, and he claims he was just passing by, so she tries to play mind games with him, but he doesn't fall for it and plays out the conversation smoothly. Emma has nothing else on him, so she leaves. Meanwhile, Gio gets a call from someone and he is told that his daughter has left school early, but he is confused, so he asks someone he knows, and she said that one of his officers picked her up, but he knows something is wrong now. When he makes it home, his wife and daughter are held hostage by Marco and his crew. He then gets beat by Marco for making a call he shouldn't have. He threatens his daughter to hurt her, then his crew leaves it alone and left his place. With Robert going to a place to speak with Emma, she calls him a ghost and reveals that he is not a person of interest of the murder of Lorenzo. Robert confronts Marco Quaranta and his men at a cafe, where they are drinking and laughing. Robert tells Marco to leave Gio and his family alone, but Marco underestimates Robert, leading to a brutal but swift takedown. Within minutes, McCall eliminates Marco and his guards, sending a clear message to Vincent. With Robert not being an interest for Emma, she goes to talk with an Italian boss. She asks if she is able to interrogate an inmate who might know things about Lorenzo. She tells him she needs information and he gives it to her. The police take out the people that worked with Lorenzo. Furious over his brother's death, Vincent orders an attack on McCall in the town. He also targets Emma Collins, attempting to silence her with a car bomb. However, McCall warns her just in time. When Vincent makes it to the place where Gio and Robert stay, he wants to know who killed his brother and used Gio if he didn't want to say anything, so he shoots him in the ear. Then Robert comes out and tells him why he killed his brother. He then surrenders, wanting Vincent to shoot him so he doesn't hurt any of the innocent people, but he realizes too many people are recording, so he stops and says he'll be back. And Robert tells him he'll be back also for him. Just like what Robert promised, he sneaks through Vincent's place, and he takes out the first set of guards silently, using knives. As he goes through the house, taking out every single one of Vincent's guards without getting caught, Vincent begins to realize something is wrong, but it's too late for him to do anything. Robert knocks Vincent out, and when he wakes up, he is tied up. He confronts Vincent face to face in his office. McCall forces Vincent to consume a lethal dose of his own illegal drugs. As Vincent struggles, McCall watches, ensuring justice is served before leaving the estate, walking away into the night. Thanks for watching until the end, and if you made it this far, make sure you subscribe for more breakdowns.